Hello everybody, my name is Kara, and today I'm here with my TBR for the Retelling Challenge of 2019. I will link all of the information down below. It's basically a bingo board, and I'm so excited. You all know that I love retellings. I love like folklore-inspired stories, so this is going to be perfect, I think. So this is of course subject to change, like all of my TBRs, but I thought it would be fun to just kind of share what I'm thinking about for each of the prompts. So maybe you guys will hear about some books you hadn't heard of, or if you're planning to participate in the challenge, maybe you'll find something that you'd like to pick up for it. And actually some of these on the list are new releases that I talked about in my 2019 anticipated releases video, which I will definitely link down below. And a couple of these were also in my most recent November, December, Christmas book haul. So if that is already posted, I will definitely link that down below as well. The first challenge is to read a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I will be reading Rose Daughter by Robin McKinley. I've been really enjoying her books so far, so I'm really excited to get into this one, and this is actually one of the books that my friend Giselle Bradley picked out for me to read. And she was also the one who told me about this challenge. Next is to read a retelling set in a foreign country, and for that one I will hopefully finally be getting to Sisters of the Winter Wood by Rena Rossner. This is kind of inspired by the Goblin Market story, and it is also heavily influenced by Jewish folklore. I've recently heard kind of mixed things about this one, so I don't know how I'll feel about it, but I'm pretty sure that this one is set on the border of Moldova and Ukraine, so this definitely takes place in a foreign country. The next challenge is to read a standalone, and I will be reading The Raven and the Reindeer by T. Kingfisher. T. Kingfisher, I think, has the potential to become a favorite author for me. I've only read one of her books, but I absolutely adored it. It was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I'm just really excited to get into more of her stuff. All of her books are like pretty short, and they're just really beautifully written, and she does a lot of kind of fairy tale retellings and like eerie folklore inspired stories, so she's right up my alley. Next, we are supposed to read a Wonderland retelling or kind of reimagining, and I'll hopefully finally be getting to Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I've had this book on my TBR for so long, and I kept putting it off because I heard mostly very negative things about it, but I just need to figure out once and for all if I actually enjoy this, and I'm hoping I will. I tend to really enjoy Marissa Meyer, so we'll see what happens. We're also supposed to read an award-winning retelling, and I will be picking up Frog Kisser by Garth Nix. I did look this up. I don't remember what the award was that it won, but I know it won something. It might have been like Mythopoeic Award, something like that. But this is another one that I hear kind of mixed things about, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it, so we'll see. Next is to read something with a one-word title, and I will be getting to Disenchanted, the second book in the... what is it called? I don't remember what the name of the series is, but the first book is Grounded, The Adventures of Rapunzel, and this is Disenchanted, The Trials of Cinderella by Megan Morrison. I loved the first book. This is a companion sequel that follows a Black Cinderella character, and I believe it's all about like labor unions, and she takes on like unsafe workplace practices, and I think it's going to be really fantastic. Like social justice Cinderella, I am totally here for. We're also supposed to read a Bronte or Austen retelling, and I hope to get to The Glass Town Game by Catherine M. Valente. I have really been enjoying Catherine M. Valente's work so far, and this is actually an autographed copy. I got this from Book Outlet, and you know how sometimes like they'll just surprise you with an autographed edition? That's what happened, so I'm really excited to be into this one. I don't know too much about what this book is about, except that it follows the Bronte children, like the siblings, so I don't even know what it retells, but I'm excited. Next, we are supposed to read something that is a Native American retelling or inspired by Native American folklore, and I hope to finally get to Trial by Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse. That's an urban fantasy that I know has been super popular this last year in 2018 when I'm filming this, and I keep meaning to pick it up and I just haven't yet, so this will be the perfect opportunity to finally get to it. Another challenge is to read a 2019 release, and I will be reading Unmarriageable by Sonia Kamal. This was one of the ones that is on my most anticipated releases list, and I am so excited about this. This is Pride and Prejudice set in Pakistan, and I am already so excited for it. I will definitely be pre-ordering this one. Next, we are to read one with Egyptian myth, and I will be picking up Lily of the Nile by Stephanie Dray. This is actually the first book in a series, and I really enjoy Egyptian historical fiction, but this has more of a mythological or magical kind of twist on it, which is why I'm counting it for this challenge. So I don't really know that much about it, but I have read some historical fiction that follows Princess Selene, who is the daughter of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, so I think this could be really interesting. Next is to read something based on Greek myth, and I will be picking up The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. This is basically a feminist retelling of the story of the Trojan women, which I'm so excited for. This was actually one of my most anticipated releases for the second half of this year that I talked about, I think, in a book tag, and I still haven't gotten to it. I have no excuse. Next is to read one by a debut author, and I will be picking House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. again on my most anticipated releases video. I am so excited for this. This is like a ghost story, creepy murder mystery version of the 12 Dancing Princesses fairy tale, so I'm ready. We also have one challenge that is a free space, and for that one I am picking Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I absolutely adored Uprooted, and I've been really looking forward to getting to Spinning Silver, and this is another book that Giselle actually chose for me to read, and I think she knows me pretty well. I'm hopeful I'm going to enjoy this. For a Shakespeare retelling, I will be reading Midsummer's Mayhem by Rajani La Rocca, and I am so upset I forgot to mention this one in my anticipated releases video, but as I said, this is a Shakespeare retelling. It's inspired by A Midsummer Night's Dream, and there's an Indian American main character, and it's all about like baking magic, I think, and cooking, and this just sounds fantastic. This is another one I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering. Next, we're supposed to read a book that is based on Asian myth, and for that one I will be reading Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, or Kagawa. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that. I will find that out. I don't know too much about this fantasy novel, but it is inspired by Japanese folklore, and it's about kitsune. I think that's how you say it. They're fox people, I believe. They're a mythological creature, and I am so excited to get to this. And actually, I got this copy from the lovely Melissa from Sassy Ginger Book Obsession. I actually won her giveaway, and this was the book I picked, so I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. Another challenge on the list is to read an indie book, which I think is such a cool challenge, and I will be reading A Dance of Silver and Shadow by Melanie Sellier. I think that's how you say it. And this is another pick from Giselle, and I've actually been meaning to read this one for a long time. It's a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, I think, but it's like a magical tournament, I'm pretty sure, and I'm really excited about this. For the Russian Folklore Challenge, I will be continuing with The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden, which is a sequel to The Bear and the Nightingale. From what I've heard, I think I'm going to enjoy this book a lot more than the first one. I did like the first one, but I didn't fall head over heels for it like I know a lot of people did and like I was hoping to, but I am really stoked about this. And actually the atmosphere and the folklore elements and how they were incorporated into the story was one of my favorite things about the first book, so I have high hopes. The next challenge is actually one of the ones that was hardest for me, which was very surprising, and that was to read a retelling with a weapon on the cover. I went into this thinking like, oh, every other main character is going to have like a bow and arrow or something, but they did not. It was actually really tricky, but it does give me an opportunity to put Sherwood by Megan Spooner on one of my immediate TBR lists. This is a Robin Hood retelling, and Maid Marian has to actually take on the mantle of Robin Hood after Robin is murdered. And this just sounds so fantastic. I absolutely loved Hunted by Megan Spooner. That happens to be one of my favorite retellings of all time, so I have high hopes for this one as well. Once again, I will probably be pre-ordering this. Next, we have to read a retelling based on Norse myth, and this might be bending the rules a little bit because I picked Anti-Darken by Kirsten White. I think this is more of like a Transylvania or Romania setting, and possibly involving parts of the Ottoman Empire, so I don't know exactly if this counts, but I did see it on at least one list of Norse-inspired books, so I'm gonna count it. Hopefully that works. We follow our main character, Lada, and this is basically a gender-swapped Vlad the Impaler retelling, so that sounds amazing. I've heard such good things about the characters and the world, and I'm so excited for this. Another challenge is to read a Peter Pan retelling, and for this one, I hope to be getting to The Wendy. I don't actually know the author name offhand, but I will insert a picture of the cover, of course. And this is actually a recommendation from my lovely friend Hannah from Lynn Hermione. I really trust her opinion. This sounds like such a great Peter Pan retelling. I don't know too much about it besides that, but I trust Hannah's judgment. Another challenge is to read a retelling that is 500 pages or more, and for that one, I will be getting to a classic, and that is Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier. I know so many people who count this among their favorite retellings. Like I know Misty from Book Rat Misty talks about it a lot, and Huck from Badger Reads, and I still have not started the Seven Waters series. I have really enjoyed some of Juliet Marillier's other books, so it's finally time. This is a retelling of, why do I always forget the name of this fairy tale? It's like Silent for 7 Years. It's the one where the girl's brothers get turned into swans, and if she speaks, then they'll be killed. That's the fairy tale I'm talking about. I love Juliet Marillier's writing and world building and atmosphere, and I'm so excited about this. I'm finally gonna get to it. It's gonna happen. Next, we are to read a retelling set in space, and I will be picking up Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. This is an Anastasia retelling, and I think I mentioned this in the book haul I talked about it in, but I know Gabby from Gabby's About Books really enjoyed it, which made me more interested in picking it up, because up until then I had heard kind of mixed things about it, but I don't know. Also, Purple Edges. I got it from a used bookstore, and it was someone's fancy copy, and I'm pretty excited about it. Another challenge is to read a book based on Middle Eastern mythology, and I will be reading The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I know a lot of people who really enjoy this series. I know Jocelyn from Yogi with a Book, and I think Kazan from Always Doing. I feel like she talked about this book recently too, and I'm just so excited to get to it. It reminds me a little bit of The Golem and the Jinni by Helene Vecker, which is one of my favorite books ever, and this obviously has Middle Eastern mythology. There are jinn and spies, and I think this is going to be amazing. Next is to read a retelling of a Brothers Grimm fairy tale, which shouldn't be too hard because a lot of the ones that are very well known are Brothers Grimm stories. And for that one, I'm going to be reading Blanca y Roja by Anna Marie McLemore. I have read to date only one book by this author, but I absolutely fell in love with it, and I have a couple others by her on my TBR. This is a retelling of Snow White and Rose Red, and there might be some other fairy tales mixed in as well. And I believe it's about two sisters, and one of them is cursed to become a swan forever, and I don't know if the sisters are close or if they're like enemies or what happens, but I know there's going to be some fantastic dynamics between them, and I've just heard so many gorgeous things about this book. I'm so excited about it. And finally, the last of the 25 challenges is to read a retelling published at least 10 years ago. And for that one, I will be picking up a book that hopefully by the time I read it, I will have figured out how you're supposed to say that. And that is the Penelopiad by Margaret Atwood. Sorry, please excuse that horrible mispronunciation, but I am so excited about this. I've been wanting to pick this up for ages because it is a feminist retelling of a Greek mythology story, which, yes, yes please, and also it's a Margaret Atwood, so I am just so looking forward to this. Also, I wanted the specific cover because the cover is actually artwork from a painter that I really love, and that is Tamara de Lempicka. Like, look up her paintings. I will link her name in the description because like they're all just so gorgeous and strange and I love them. But this is something I am so excited to finally read. And just in her introduction to the book, Margaret Atwood said something that I'm going to read to you. I've chosen to give the telling of the story to Penelope and to the 12 hanged maids. The maids form a chanting and singing chorus which focuses on two questions that must pose themselves after any close reading of the Odyssey. What led to the hanging of the maids, and what was Penelope really up to? The story as told in the Odyssey doesn't hold water. There are too many inconsistencies. I've always been haunted by the hanged maids, and in the Penelopiad, so is Penelope herself. Just fuck me up, Margaret Atwood. I'm ready. Okay, everybody, so that is my tentative TBR for the Retelling Bingo 2019 challenge. Of course, this may change, this may shift, but that's kind of what the plan is right now. But please let me know if any of you are participating in this challenge. Also let me know if you have read any of these books, what you thought about them, especially some of the like less popular ones or ones I haven't heard about, like Lily of the Nile or the Glass Town game. I'd be especially interested to hear what you guys think about those. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!